Are Islander watches worth the money? Let's take a look at one and find out. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Humble Horologist. I know this has been a while since my last video, and that's because I have started another YouTube channel called The Humble Word. And I would encourage you to check it out if you feel so inclined. I'm investing a lot more time because I'm doing videos every day for that channel, even though they're not very long, but they're every day. And that's a lot of work. But I don't want to give up watches. I like watches. I wear watches. Here I have on my wrist today my Seiko SRPE99, which I really, really like, especially on this blue rubber bracelet, strap, and it's just a great watch. And because I'm reviewing an Islander watch today that is an homage to a Seiko, then I thought what better than to wear my SRPE today because it looks a lot like it. Well, what about Islander watches? Why am I even talking about them? Well, to begin with, if you have been watching videos on YouTube for a long time, especially since COVID, and you have become more aware of the watch brands that are out there, the micro brands, one that has probably come, within your sphere is Islander, or Long Island Watch Company, with Mark at Long Island Watch, who does great videos. And he's really good in his videos because he has he just takes a whole different approach to it as a watch seller. He has a store, a literal store, and he's a collector, and he's an engineer kind of guy, and so he brings a different perspective to watches and the collecting and the hobby and all that. And so it's fun to watch. It's interesting, and you always learn something. Okay, so now we have up close and personal for the first time on this channel, an Islander. And I have to say, I'm very pleased with it. I'll just go ahead and tell you, I think that they are worth the money. Compared to a Seiko, compared to other brands, I believe for quality, they're right up there. And when it comes to features, quite frankly, this one has more. But what is the deal with this watch? Well, this watch is, you could say, an homage. It is paying tribute to a classic Seiko that is no longer being made, and that would be either the SKX 013 or the 14 or 15, whichever you prefer to say it's most similar to. But with 13, if I have my story correct, somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but people were ordering the Pepsi bezel from places like Island Watch and replacing the black diver bezel with the Pepsi. And so, hey, why don't I just make my own watch? And instead of, modding yours, buy mine. That might have been something he thought, but what you end up having is a watch that is not just an homage, if you want to call it that. It's actually an upgrade to the Seiko that it resembles. And so how is it an upgrade? Well, let's take a look at at least a couple of things. First off, instead of a black or even Pepsi aluminum insert on the bezel, you have sapphire. And so that is definitely an upgrade, at least for a lot of people. Now I have my SRPE here with me, like I was wearing earlier. And it's got an aluminum bezel. Some people prefer the classic warm look of an aluminum bezel insert more than others, especially sapphire. But there is an advantage to having the sapphire bezel, and that is because the lume. This one is fully lumed. All the numbers and the indices and stuff are all lumed along with the dial. So as you'll see in a second, that is a plus, at least for a lot of people. Now, what are some other things about this? Well, as opposed to, again, a Seiko with, a Hardlex crystal, the Seiko now comes, or the Islander does come with a sapphire crystal, which has really good anti-reflective coating on it, and very clear, very good quality. This watch also has something that some of the older Seikos did not have, and that is it does have pin. I've gone blank. What you call these things? Yeah, you can have. You know what I'm trying to say there, and I'm not going to edit this. I've just gone blank. Where you can stick a little pin in there and remove your end links. So that's that drilled lugs. Well, I don't know why I went so blank, but it does have drilled lugs, and that's a real positive. Another thing, I said another, but not another. Another thing is the bracelet. I could say that the bracelet on this is definitely an upgrade over the Seiko because it is not push pins. It is not pin and collar. Pop. Oh, I hate pin and collar. But they're screwed links and very well crafted, very well engineered. And the bracelet is not jangly. It's got a little play in it, but it's not rattly because it's all solid links and solid end link. And it has, instead of a pressed clasp on the end, it does have a milled deployant clasp that adds a little bit more sturdiness, a little bit more premium quality to the bracelet, and so on. Has the unsigned clasp. Now the Seiko, of course, would be signed. I do have a Seiko from my SRPE just to compare. You can see very close. Of course, this one's larger. Very, very similar. Very similar. But again, when you get into the actual workings of this, the pin and collar stuff, that's just a pain. And of course, here you see that it has a pressed clasp on the Seiko that the Islander has improved upon. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just quality. Basic stuff, you have a screw down crown that is signed, and you have 200 meters of water resistance. This is automatic. Another major improvement is that this is a hackable and hand winding movement. This is the NH35, I believe. And, you know, it's hand wound or, you know, movement like normal. Nice clean sweep to it. And unlike the Seiko, which was not hackable. So there's a big difference there. You got a screw down case back, which looks like it's been, I can't tell how they did this. If they pressed the stainless steel, you know, that was done in a press, or if that was engraved, I don't know. But it has you can see a lighthouse there with the Island logo, sapphire, 200 meters water resistance, Islander. Very well made watch. Very solid, very hefty. It's got a good weight to it. Can't remember the exact weight, but I know it's in the 140s of somewhere, I think. So it's got some heft to it. Very nicely polished on the outside, and on the flanks on the side, you got brushing on the top, brushing on the bracelet. The dial is really pretty. I'm going to try to get close here so you can see this. Hopefully that'll focus fine. You can see that the indices are fully loomed, filled, bordered, and has the logo there printed. Automatic 200 meter printed below. Pretty basic, but done very well. I really like the watch. I think you can't go wrong if you got one like this. Now, this watch came with the box on the cushion, wrapped in plastic. I had to take 2 links out to fit my 7.5-inch wrist, and there they are. They'll go back. It does not come with a printed manual, but it does come with one on the inside of the box. Instructions and warranty. And I think that's pretty clever. Saves cost, printing, and trees. But back to this bezel. If there's one thing I would change about this watch, besides the size, I can't wear a 38. It just doesn't look, for a dive watch, it just does not look as good on me as a 40. But I could still wear it. I mean, if they gave it to me, I'd wear it, but I wouldn't buy a 38, but it would work great for most people. And it's 38 millimeters cross. I should have said that earlier. And, you got 13.4 thickness, and you've got a 44 millimeter lug to lug. So it's pretty compact. But this bezel, I can't turn it. I have to get gloves. I have to get a good grip to turn it. It is a very, very tight bezel. I don't know if this is the particular watch. I don't know if it's a design. That's how they designed it. I mean, if I got rubber gloves on, I can turn it, but maybe you can turn it. I'm just an old man. I don't like, but it's got a really stiff bezel. I mean, just in comparison, this is my Seiko. Not a problem. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe they can address that when they get it back. So yeah, I think that Islander is a great watch brand, and the watches that they put out are worth taking a look at. At least if this is the only example I had from the company, Islander is a great watch. So thank you, Mark. Thank you, Long Island Watch, for sending this piece out. I will be getting it back to you now very soon. And let me know what you think in the comments. Do you own an Islander? Would you recommend one? Did you have any good things, bad things about it, that you would like to share or warn people or encourage people with? Let us know in the comments. And if you would, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you in the next one. And remember, watches are replaceable. Time is not. That's why I'm trying to make the best of it.